am James Tate. That is Kyle Nilsson, and welcome back to another Gilsson and Nold. What episode is it, Kyle?
Episode 14.
14. Yeah. We did pretty good this week. My total record for this week was 11-5. Kyle's was 10-6. That makes Let me make sure to fix that number. My total overall record 32-31-1. He is 28-35-1.
Big Pog. I'm doing much better. I did
Yeah,
much
yeah,
better
you
this
did
week.
good. You did good this week. I'm proud of you. I know your play's trash.
Now you're finally winning too, but just remember, man, you're only winning by one. I can make a comeback.
Yeah. Fuck you and your comebacks, Chargers. Okay, so let's get into the week's prediction. Starting with Thursday Night Football, Dolphins versus Bengals. Not much really to talk about on here. The biggest talking point, other than the Bengals getting their swagger back, was Tua Tagovailoa. My gosh, dude.
I
I mean,
feel so bad for him right now.
so many people have already talked about it. There's already been so many talking heads talking about it, so we'll keep this short. There needs to be more repercussions than just firing the UNC, which was an unaffiliated doctor that wasn't affiliated with the National Football League or the team. And we need the medical team to be investigated. We need the coaches to be investigated. Like, I find it funny that whenever Bountygate happened, it was all about player safety. But as soon as a player goes to the fencing position, which is a clear sign of severe brain trauma, and he's at risk of second impact syndrome, which comes after your first concussion that you sustained didn't heal at all or properly, and that leads to seizures and possible death. The NFL is very silent on it. You notice that?
Yeah, because they don't want to lose their money. Keep quiet about it. Maybe it'll just go under the rug.
Yeah, and most Dolphins fans have been pretty good about it, saying that they just want Tua to be okay. But there's also seen some trashy Dolphins fans who are like, oh, but it's whatever, this, that, and the other, and also fuck you. I don't care. This isn't about your loyalty to your team. This is about a player whose health is at risk.
Who might never play again. Because if he gets a third concussion, he already got two in like under a week, which is very, very unsafe to the brain.
Oh yeah, very unsafe. We're hoping all's okay there. So the next game on the agenda is the Vikings versus the Saints, and the Saints lost. It was very, very unfortunate for me. Obviously, being a Saints fan, but if there's one thing that this proved correct, it proved my theory of Andy Dalton is good enough to win.
Oh yeah, he keeps it under control.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about in Vikings and Saints, anyways.
The best thing I could say is nice comments.
Nice comments.
Helmets.
Helmets. There you go, Nelson.
I said helmets before.
No, you said comments.
Whatever. Move on to the next game.
Okay, so next game up is Seattle versus Detroit, which is my game of the week.
Lions.
Yeah, the Lions. I feel bad for them. They're averaging on offense, number one offense in the league, 35 points. Their defense is the worst defense in the league, and they're averaging 35.3 points given up.
Literally, if they had if they had a competent defense, they could not be one. They could be 3-1 right now.
We all thought Dan Campbell was going to take under the Sean Payton cap and really do a lot. We were thinking that he would take all the good. We didn't think he'd take the bad with him as well, which is, amazing offenses, but the worst defense you can imagine.
Like, hell, even the Saints in their dark days had a better defense than this.
No, we didn't. They were oftentimes 30, 31, or 32.
But they wouldn't be 1-3 right now. They'd be 2-2.
Yeah, we'd be 2-2 because we had Breezes on our side.
Exactly.
This was a very fun, very fast-paced game. Some key notes to talk on. Gino actually did pretty good this game. He had really decent decision-making. And as I said, Jared Goff also did phenomenally in this game.
He's finally finding his groove.
He's finally starting to find it. And it's weird thinking that Jared Goff is doing better than Matthew Stafford.
Crazy to think. And also, this game hosts the Poopgate 2 with DJ Metcalf being carted off just to take a poo. Again.
That's respectable. Okay, next game up is the Jets beating the Steelers 24-20. The Zach Wilson return game quickly turned into the oh my gosh, Bigots debuting, guys! We're going to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl bound.
It didn't start out that way at the very least. Jets hit a very interesting double reverse, and Wilson hit a gritty. So that's something to note.
Oh yeah, and Pickett, unfortunately, he threw 3 picks in his debut, but 2 of them were not even his fault.
And yeah, 2 of them were tipped. Or no, I think 1 was tipped, and then 1 was a Hail Mary
So
pick, which
technically, he
obviously...
had 1.
And hey, technically a ball that Pickett has thrown has yet to hit the ground. So I count that as a win.
He did absolutely fantastic. Oh, another thing to note. Firstly, Jets make another last-second comeback, but apparently Boswell hit the longest field goal in Steelers history, at least in Heinz Field with a 59-yard field goal. So, good for him.
Good for him. Next up is the Bears losing to the Giants 12-20. Man, what a game this was. This was a fun game.
And I think part of it has to do with those damn good throwbacks. Thank you, Helmet Rule. Now these throwbacks look beautiful.
And also, the end zones were a little bit different as well. I like that as well.
Like, Giants should just stick to these uniforms full time. They match so well with the current days, in my opinion.
Yeah, so some talking points. Fields really is just, Mr. Trubisky, but with a different skin color. Honestly, I see no difference in the two. A great escapability, awesome playmaking ability, no consistency, and poor accuracy.
Just absolute trash.
And also, Kyle, we have to call each other out on here. Remember, all the way back week 1, we were talking horrible on Saquon Barkley. I think he's proving us wrong each week.
he legit had to carry injured Daniel Jones.
And injured Tyrod Taylor. He hit 2 big runs. One, you swore it was going to be a 20-yard loss, and he got a first down with it. I mean, golly, man, Saquon.
He's on a roll for comeback player of the year, and I'm all for it.
I agree.
Also, this game had one of the longest plays in history at 51 seconds.
Yes, Madden. Madden's getting their due.
Like, and the funniest part with the ending of this game was the fireworks going off and the play wasn't even done with yet.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant. Then next game on the agenda is the Titans beating the Colts,
and again,
24-17.
In back-to-back weeks, AFC teams on Fox, and conveniently it's the Titans. Makes no sense.
Also, back-to-back weeks where the Titans didn't score any second half points, and yet they somehow win with the same score of 24.
Like, I don't get this game. Also, Colts seem a lot worse than 1-2-1. Like, a lot fucking worse.
They probably should have lost to Houston whenever you think about it. Like,
yeah.
It sort of mind-boggles me that they looked better with wins
than with
what
Matt
the heck,
Ryan.
Matt?
But the thing is, Matt's not even to be fault for this. I mean, because Pat was fine. It was Frank Wright who was the issue, who strangely went for a field goal on 4th and 21 instead of going for it. What?
Well, no, Frank, it was 4th and 21.
But you have to play the tie. If you make the field goal, sure, but then you're giving the ball back to the Titans, who have Derrick Henry, who's been running all over you. You're not getting the ball back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not. And also trusted Matt Ryan. But also, and something though, if you can find, I'll probably send you a picture of him. But the Colts' new kicker looks a little bit like Andrew Luck.
See, if you find a picture, if I can find a picture with his helmet off, I gotta put that down.
Okay, so next game up, Chargers defeating the Texans 34-24. And you might be feeling pain, Kyle. But just note, you at least won.
We at least won barely. And I feel a part of it has to do, no, not a feel. A lot of it has to do with J.C. Jackson, who finally has made his Charger debut. Unlike Khalil Mack, who was on a roll, J.C. Jackson was rolling all over the place besides a Texan. Well, at one point, I'm convinced that he thought he was playing for the Texans.
Well, the reason why you feel like that you almost lost was because of J.C. Jackson. And yeah, I sent some screenshots to you, and if you could find those and put them up here, you'll understand why. He gave up on so many plays, broken tackles that he gave up. It was just ridiculous.
I'm honestly, the reason why I'm really upset with this win is that the fact that we almost blew a lead to the Texans, who almost blew a lead on their week 1. Well, they did actually blow the lead. What am I saying?
Yeah.
I'm pissed, honestly. I'm upset with this, because to me, this makes me question a lot. But the thing is, the thing I'm most proud of is Justin Herbert.
I mean, he's been playing like a warrior.
With this game, he is now leading the NFL in passing yards. That is really impressive. Good for you, Herbert. He's putting this team on his back. He's putting this team on his back. And also Austin Eckler.
He actually played good this week. He actually did something.
Yes, you did. See, I don't know the Chargers. I don't know.
Okay, then the next game up is the Browns losing to the Falcons 20-23, and I mean,
Falcons just
th-
literally lost their whole entire offense.
Cordell Patterson will be out for the next few weeks, for the next 4 weeks, but they do have two interesting running backs whose names I don't think I put up here. No, Algier or Al Jazeer, and also Huntley.
I
They
think
did
both
good.
are good.
Also, something else to note about this game: Mariota threw an interception in the following drive, went 14 plays and a touchdown.
Mariota's making a comeback, man.
Yeah, by giving the ball to better players.
Exactly.
No, Brissett loses another game throwing a late interception, and I'm starting to see a trend here that I'm scared for. At the end of the day, the worse the Browns do, the more joy I feel, because fuck the Browns.
And with that, Falcons get the first NFC North win since AFC, not NFC, AFC North win since 2010. So
Yeah, do it.
Browns
You
always
did
breaking
good.
curses,
You did good. Next up is my worst game of the week,
and mine as well.
Commanders versus the Cowboys. I'm going to keep this short. Cooper Rush, are we sure he's just not a fancier Drew Bledsoe? Cowboys pass rush is honestly scary, and also Cooper is a superior redhead to Carson.
Yeah, and I got nothing to say besides those uniforms for Washington look
Trash.
awful, just like they're playing today.
Next game up is Jaguars versus the Eagles. The Eagles ended up winning the game 29-21.
Yet again, another failed revenge game. Not really
Fail,
surprising.
fail.
All y'all suck with revenge. Damn.
I mean, the Eagles definitely have an offensive talent to make the playoff run. Jalen Hurts is starting to develop in a way that I thought he wasn't going to, considering how his first proper season went. Lawrence is not developing at all. I don't think he's regressing. I think he's just remained a rookie for the second season in a row. He's those fumbles, and you can blame the bad weather. I'm sorry, but people have won games without fumbling the ball in bad weather before.
Yeah, what happened to those Peyton Manning comparisons from last week, huh? Literally,
Yeah,
you people were getting ridiculous last week with it.
I mean, they look nothing alike, and their playing style is two completely different players.
Also, Peyton was on a worse Colts team.
True. I mean, Marvin Harrison. He had Marvin Harrison with him.
True. But doesn't fucking Trevor Lawrence have? I know they're like complete different positions, but doesn't he have Allen Robinson, who's a gem on the Jaguars?
Allen Robinson's on the Rams now.
Oh. Okay.
Wait, is he on the Rams? Shit, hold on. Let me look this up. Robinson. Yeah, he's on.
Well, I'm cutting this part out then.
Well, no, I hold on. Let me. Yeah, he's on the Rams.
Who was I thinking of?
It's Allen Robinson has been on the Jaguars since 2017.
James Robinson. That's the guy I meant. James Robinson.
There you.
Whoops.
Oh.
Yeah. He doesn't have much go for him.
But also, the Jaguar play calling was just really mid in this game. Really mediocre. Next up, Bills beating the Ravens 23-20.
Oh, I want to. Yeah, game of the week.
What?
Game of the week for this game.
Yeah, that's his game of the week. I mean, what did you want to mention?
Oh, I was gonna say Eagles are 4-0 for the first time since 2004.
Oh, yeah, they are 4. That means anything to you? Celebrate.
Yeah.
So the Bills, I'm saying this now. Whenever this game started, the first half, I was bored out of my mind. It was a complete shit show from the first drive for the Buffalo.
Well, I was
throwing
from Philly, so I never see the first half. So I seen highlights.
Yeah, so you saw the highlights. It was just really underwhelming because you're thinking, oh man, the Bills, the revenge tour, this isn't it. But then the Ravens defense did it. They blew it.
He did it. I mean, Ravens, it's improvement. This time it was 17 points to 21.
And I feel like honestly, this game came down to one decision. It was between either going for the points tied at 20, making it 23-20 for the Ravens, or going for it on that 4th and goal. And you can't argue the Ravens' logic, but you can argue with the result because at the end of the day, if you're down at the one, you're going for it, you decide to throw a pass instead of running it down their throats. You then throw it, and it goes to the other team for an interception and a touchback.
To me,
That's a horrible result.
To me, it was a pretty damn dumb decision. Like Harbaugh going for 2, like twice last year in games. I kind of get it, but it's like you were right there to either tie it or just win it. Just take it.
Like, I get being aggressive, but with 4 minutes left, have trust in your defense, who have been playing great for most of the day outside of the third quarter.
Yeah, and another thing, reason why I go Game of the Week, and I'll probably have to explain why. Tale of two halves. I mean, the first half I was absolute Ravens domination, and the third quarter was absolutely Bills coming back, and the fourth quarter was just all defense until the final few seconds where Bills finally scored again. It was back and forth,
and that's respectable.
So Bills won due to Ravens just imploding again.
And hopefully that imploding continues on to this week.
Yeah, no, don't question Josh Allen again, people. Never.
Don't you dare. Let's see. Cardinals versus Panthers. The Cardinals won 26-16. Yeah, this was a game of, hey, remember that guy won the Heisman after that guy, and no one cares anymore. Everyone stopped caring after Kyler's rookie season. It's dumb. It's dumb. The Cardinals and Panthers look sloppy. What I am going to be talking about in this game is the fact that J.J. Watt had to be revived on Thursday and was allowed to play on Sunday. He had a heart issue, if I'm correct, and he pretty
also
much
has a kid coming on the way too.
Yeah, he has a kid coming on the way too, and like, yet he was very emotional after the game press conference. I'm just thinking, like, dude, just retire. We would understand why you would not want to further the danger that you go on the field every single day. It's already natural for a defensive lineman who's in the trenches. But like, insane.
Speaking of that interview, why was no one in that room seeming to give a damn about his mental health? They just kept on asking about the game when clearly JJ was out of it.
Yeah, like the dude was on the brink of tears, and the first question is, so, obviously had a great performance, but did you think that tip mattered?
And then in respect to JJ, he answered it.
Yeah, respect to JJ. He handled himself like a professional.
But you didn't have to in that moment. I'll have to say, I have nothing to say on this game at all, because I don't care about either one of these teams. Oh, besides that 4th and inches.
Okay, so the next game up on the schedule for last week was the Broncos versus the Raiders.
Broncos scored past 60 points.
But the Raiders won 32-23, and all I'm just thinking is, man, oh man. Russell played easily his best game of the year, but the running backs fumbled the ball, mainly Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
There's also a guy on, there's also a guy on Denver's team named Washington. He's a special teams guy. So it reminds me of Trendon Holiday a bit.
Ooh, classic.
Also, isn't it quite ironic that the only person to win his revenge game so far was Josh McFucking-Daniels?
Yeah. And he went for an onside kick in the second quarter, which should have fucked the Raiders over by a fucking lot, because what the fuck was that?
There was so much idiocracy in this game, and that, honestly, I don't really even remember because it was a small play.
I mean, this game was so dumb, but so fun. Why?
Also, credit for 72 on not giving up on that one fumble recovery for a touchdown, unlike J.C. Jackson.
No, there's one player to know here, Josh Jacobs. Broncos, Josh Jacobs, name me a better duo. He always fucking torches them.
And he torched them again for a huge game. So the next game up was, I honestly thought this was going to be the worst game of the week. Patriots versus Packers.
Turns out it's pretty fun.
It turned out being possibly very close to the best game of the week, and I was thinking, why? How?
Also, a rare Aaron Rodgers pick 6. I was hoping you continue on, then I was going to say it after.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Mac Jones is out, then Brian Hoyer got concussed, and now you're playing with Bailey Zappi, who looks like an even more generic version of Mac Jones.
That makes he's coming from the lab.
I just mean, it's insane. Also, Kendrick Bourne had a really good day today. And I will say, There's no pocket presence off of Bailey Zappi from what I've seen, which I suppose should be worrisome, but he's also a third-string quarterback. And how often does a third-string quarterback play?
We're so close to having history be made. It's been 20 years since we've had a punter come in because all the quarterbacks are injured. Please, Patriots, let it happen.
And funnily enough, it happened to the Jets and Bill Parcells.
Like, please, someone. Please, I don't want to... I should wait.
Kill Zappi! Kill him! Block him!
I'm wishing
Murder.
injury right now.
Kill
Hold
him!
on.
Kill him! Kill him! You don't have to wish. I'll wish it for you. Do a Dolphins. Murder him.
Take the fall.
Tank. Tank. No, but so
I think the best play of this game has to go to that incomplete pass where Aaron Rodgers literally stayed on his feet after almost getting tripped, but it was incomplete. But damn, that was impressive as hell. I don't know if you remember what that play was, but
I mean, Aaron Rodgers might have questionable morals and political values, but the dude's an amazing quarterback. He's horrible at the clutch, horrible in the playoffs, amazing.
in the regular
truly wondrous. He's truly wondrous in the regular season.
And this game almost tied. And if I don't think that's him.
Mason Crosby.
Mason, not Matt. Here comes Max again. He's back again. Mason Crosby missed that kick. We were suffering our second tie.
I was literally talking to my dad in the game. I was just thinking, would this be the second tie of the season? Because Mason Crosby has had kicking issues in the past. But no, he hit it clean. It was also a chip shot, but such is life.
That's so funny that Mason Crosby, one game against the Lions where he missed 5 kicks, all of a sudden he's questionable.
Well, there's also that Bengals game.
Oh, the Bengals game too. Only 2 games in his career. Hey, my man has a ring for a reason.
I mean, you don't see Justin Tucker missing.
Of course not, because Justin Tucker's built different.
But then Chiefs versus Bucks. This Sunday Night Football game was fun, and also this is the reason why Tom Brady's getting divorced. Obviously,
boy.
we're not going to be talking on other people's marital issues, but
Giselle was jealous by the ass beating Tom Brady was getting by the Chiefs.
I can't deny it's a little bit funny that you come out of retirement, risking your family and your marriage just to go 2-2 to start off the year.
Like, this Bucks team does not. You can tell me all you want about them not having everyone. Like, no. They look average. Who are you playing for, Brady?
I mean, oh gosh. I mean, it doesn't help the Buccaneers defense from going up against Patrick Mahomes. He was smiling at Devin White before he spun out of his tackle and made a throw.
Patrick is just like, ha, fuck you, because he knows he's not going to see him in the playoffs. There's no way.
Patrick Mahomes, he literally is built different. You love to see it.
He's amazing. He still has Patrick Mahomes. Like, god dang.
No, but all other stuff, the most dangerous Brady is whenever he's throwing to wide open guys in zone coverage. Also, something else to note in this game is Antonio Brown posted a picture of him hugging Giselle after the Super Bowl win. I'm just thinking, no.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Wonderful. Finally, to end off the recap, we've got the Rams versus 49ers. Another almost game of the week, but for the opposite reasons as all these other games. This game was really entertaining. It was really defensive.
It was, and we both were right. 49ers fucking dominated the Rams.
24-9 was the final score of this game. Also, by the way, Chiefs Buccaneers was 41-31.
But you can see on the screen anyway.
Yeah, you can see on the screen anyways. But man, oh man, the Rams had 4 good drives all throughout the game, and 3 of them ended in field goals, and 1 was a turnover on downs.
And then there was the pick 6 that could be an extra 5.
I don't know how to say this guy's name, but I'm going to try to. Hufanga. Samoan. He's Samoan. I don't think he's part of the bloodline, though. But he's becoming a great safety. He was talked about on Sunday Night Football as a great young premier safety that the 49ers like, and he definitely proved as to why. Also, the Manning cast was very entertaining. Not for the guests, just for Eli and Peyton's bickering.
Of course. Because these guys sucked.
But yeah, those are the recaps.
Oh, before we continue on, Kyle Shanahan now has 7 straight regular season wins against Sean McVay.
Who's the better Kyle?
Also,
Wilson,
I don't know if I just said Sean. I don't know if I just said Sean Shanahan, but sorry if I did.
You said McVay.
Okay, just making sure.
So next up is our players of the week. Now this time we don't actually know who we gifted player of the week to. So between each other, so I don't know who his players of the weeks are. He doesn't know who mine are. So let's get into it.
And you guys aren't going to know until we say it ourselves. Because they'll
So,
pop
my quarterback of the week is Jared Goff.
Same.
He went, he went 26-39, 378 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 121.5 pass rating, and 66% completion percentage. All right.
Well, I'm at 67. I rounded.
You rounded up because you're a pussy. Okay, the running back of the week. My running back of the week is Rashard Penny.
Not same.
Okay, so Rashard Penny had 17 carries for 151 yards, rushing 8.9 average yard per attempt, and 2 touchdowns.
For me, running back of the week, Saquon Barkley, 31 carries.
I knew it.
146 yards, 4.7 average yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns. I know that doesn't look too good. Take into play that Saquon Barkley had to carry this team on his back after Daniel Jones went out with an injury. He had, and literally the final 6 minutes of this game, Barkley had to put the whole team on his back. And let me tell you, DeBell, he trusted Barkley, and he proved his worth. He is back.
Dayball. And my wide receiver of the week is actually technically a tight end. It's TJ Hawkinson. He had 8 receptions, 179 yards receiving, 22.4 yards per reception, and 2 tutties.
Damn, I went with DK Metcalf because I thought, well, tight end's not a wide receiver. 7 receptions, 149 yards receiving, 21.3 average yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns. Anyways, I'm not changing my pick on that. I still think he is definitely wide receiver of the week. He fucking killed it. And he Pooh game too.
My defensive player of the week is Dre Greenlaw.
Same.
Yeah, same. 12 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles. Not much else you can say there. He played really great. He stopped them in the middle.
I mean, he stopped the Rams. Good for him.
Now, on to a little corner that I like to go to for my rankings. Yeah, we party hearty here. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so let's start with college. So, number 25 is LSU. 24, BYU. 23, TCU. A lot of U's here to start us off.
Oh.
I didn't notice that until I said it out loud.
So many O's, bro. Sorry, U's.
Wow, you fucked up your own vowel. 22, Washington. 21, Cincinnati, but not the Bengals. 20, Syracuse. 19, Mississippi State. 18, Kansas State. 17, UCLA. 16, Kansas. 15, Kentucky. 14, Wake Forest. 13, NC State. 12, Oregon. 11, Penn State. 10, Tennessee. 10, Tennessee.
10, IC.
And 9, Ole Miss. Hey, look, that's Eli and Peyton's colleges right next to each other. You notice that?
Oh. This is a message.
Yeah. 8, Utah. 7, Clemson. 6, USC. 5, Oklahoma State. 4, Michigan. 3, Ohio State. 2, Georgia. And 1, Bama.
Seems like Georgia has lost its crown.
Well, they nearly lost to Missouri, who sucks.
You dropped your crown, Alabama.
Yeah,
yours.
You dropped it. Okay, so now on to the NFL side of things. Whoa, boy, let's do this. 32, the Houston Texans. I'm sorry, I didn't know you sucked so badly. 31, the Washington Commanders.
Not worse, but
30, Detroit Lions. And this is a cautionary 30. They really don't deserve to be a 30, but their defense sucks ass.
Their defense is killing number 1 offense.
29, the Carolina Panthers. They belong in last place, but they beat us, so fuck them. 28, the Indianapolis Colts, who also have it's a tie for last, and they're up there too. We're down there in this case. 27, the Chicago Bears. The Justin Fields experiment is tanking. Quick. 26, the New England Patriots. It's really, really rare to see them this low. This has never happened before. Good response there. 25, the Las Vegas Raiders. You don't deserve to be up. You deserve to just know to
be low.
24. Actually, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, good. I actually moved the Raiders up. I thought I moved them down. I'm just so used to it. 24, the Jaguars. I mean, yeah, we expected this. 23, the Saints. All I feel is pain. 22, the Jets. How? Fucking how? How are the Jets better than the Saints?
Zach boy.
21, the Browns, as expected. 20, the Seahawks, not so much. 19, Pittsburgh, Pickett season, baby. 18, Atlanta, I hate you. 17, the Cardinals, I also hate you, but for a different reason. 16, Denver, let's ride.
I hate
15,
them.
the Buccaneers, hey, know your
We hate
place,
them.
trash, come back down with the rest of us, sink, pussy. 14, the Giants, surprisingly above the Buccaneers. 13, the Chargers, good for you. 12, the Ravens, good for them. 11, the Titans, how? 10, Miami. Now let's see how long that lasts. 9, Minnesota!
Minnesota.
I hate you. 7, the Rams, I too also hate you.
Yes, same.
Actually, they were 8. 7, the 49ers. Wait, 7, 8, 9. These 3 teams have beaten us in the playoffs in dramatic fashion.
Ooh,
The
fun.
drive, the Vernon Davis catch, no
The
call,
catch 3, no call, and
miracle.
yeah.
I didn't even do that on purpose. That's completely accidental. 6, Dallas.
Who ruined your chances of going 16-0?
Thank you, Dallas. You son of a bitch. The Bengals are at number 5. It's Joey B's season, and he's in the season of giving out tutties. 4, Buffalo. Josh Allen, baby. 3, the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. 2, the Packers. Yes. Dance on them, Aaron. Dance on their graves. And 1, Philadelphia. They're the only undefeated team left.
No one would have ever thought the Eagles would be number 1 at one point in the season, but here we are.
Imagine if they lose next week and all the teams that are number 1 just lose every single time that they're number 1. It's almost a curse at this point. I feel like.
I would hope that actually would happen. That would make
Because,
funny
I
as
mean,
fuck.
we're not going to do it for this podcast, but, like, if the Eagles lose next week, we're going to have to look at my number 1 teams and see if they lost the week that I put them there.
Because then it would just be an ongoing curse that would just be hilarious.
It's, a little mini feud. Okay, time for the predictions.
Let's go. So, hold on. Let me open it real quick. It closed
We're
out.
not professionals.
Because Google closed out on me. No. Well, I don't have a professional internet set up. So, we kick off Thursday Night Football with 2 head coaches that are both in the hot seat. We have the Colts taking on the Broncos. I picked the Broncos to win because I feel like Frank Wright might possibly get fired before Thursday night's game. If not, because how hot of seat Frank Wright's is, which Hackett's should be more, it's just going to be too much pressure on him, and Broncos are just going to take advantage of it.
This is the game of the former Peyton Manning teams going at it. I have the Broncos winning because I have more faith. Oh, it's also the game of quarterbacks who lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Just even more fucking comical. Like, it just what the hell?
And they are both teams that also happen to have beaten Tom Brady in the playoffs, and he also beat them in the playoffs.
Which, by the way, both teams have beaten them in the AFC Championship games. Ha!
Both teams had Manning as well.
Just
So, like, I had Broncos winning. So.
yeah. Our next London game of the season is the Giants versus the Packers. And Giants, I love you guys so much, but I'm going with the Packers because any person with Minnesota, you have anybody? I don't know where I'm going with this joke. Just Packers.
I believe for me, I'm going to pick the Packers as well, but mainly because I feel like even if the Giants, who are a very average team, who have a lot of big aspirations and a great heart, they're not as good as Aaron Rodgers, just on his own, as we've seen.
Though this game could put a surprise to all of us, who knows. But next is the Lions versus the Patriots. I pick the Patriots. Even with all their injuries, I just don't see it happening.
I'm picking Lions for one reason and one reason only. No, it's not because Dan Campbell biting kneecaps. He respects Bill Belichick too much for that. This is a Matt Patricia revenge game, and as we know, revenge games have gone in the other direction for these people.
Yeah, unless you met Patricia.
Unless, I was going to say, unless you're a trashy coach/coordinator, then you win them. I don't know how this works yet. We're still testing out the king. I'm picking Detroit. I'll take this L.
That means I might be right. Next, Chargers versus the Browns. Oh boy, PTSD from something 6 years ago that happened. I don't know what to think about for this game. And this is no biasness here, but I'm going to have to go with the Chargers because I don't know. It's just something with the Browns last week. They just imploded themselves. Jacoby, maybe it's just getting a little bit too hot with his hands, kind of being a little bit Mahomes like. I don't know. I think Chargers might step up on that, unless J.C. Jackson has something to say otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Chargers as well, but also I feel like this game's gonna be really, really close. This has potential going one of two ways. Either it's going to be close and the Chargers going to barely win it, or it's going to be a blowout and the Browns going to miraculously kill Los Angeles. So I will say
the actual result: the Chargers have a lead, and then Browns win.
The Chargers have a tendency to win on the road.
Unless it's the Browns.
So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, this should be easier since you're not playing in cold-ass weather.
Yeah, it should be easier, but it's also just the Browns. And they hate us too much.
True.
Next, Texans versus Jaguars. I gotta go with the Jaguars, because I generally think Jaguars might be a decent team compared to the Texans.
I don't think that at all. I think both these teams, from what I've seen, like the Jaguars, whenever they face actual competition that's not named the Chargers, who are injured as shit, they have shown they're not that good. And that's why I have the Jaguars winning, because the Texans are worse.
Next, Falcons versus the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
It's Buccaneers. I was gonna say, you could say argue Falcons because of what's going on with Brady right now, which should not have been leaked at all. But
I find it hilarious either way.
But you have to be stupid if you think the Falcons actually have a chance in this.
Tom Brady has a chip on his shoulder. He's
specifically on Adam Schefter, by this point.
he has a gun to Adam Schefter's head at any given moment, telling him to pull the trigger.
Come on, Adam, make my fucking day.
Very much. Brady has a chip on his shoulder. He's pissed off. He's upset. He's gonna fire that team up. They're going 3-2. They're gonna win this game for Brady.
Yep. Next game, Steelers versus the Bills. I pick the Bills because, man, that Bills defense is going to abuse Pickett a lot.
Bills, but also, it could be the Steelers' day. The Steelers have one of the best defenses in the league. I believe that in any given
and
chance
last
in the NFL,
year, they got the Bills and week one with that defense.
Sure. I said at any given point, I feel like the Steelers could upset a team or the Bills could be upset, but this is a revenge game for Buffalo. I'm all about that revenge narrative. And hey, Dolphins, you're on the list now.
Oh, yeah. And plus, this is in Buffalo. It's pretty much hard to win in there. Now.
Yeah. Now, at the very least.
Next, Dolphins versus Jets. And I'm picking the Jets because fuck you, Dolphins. You deserve to lose.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins because I have a feeling. I'm taking my emotion out of this. I have a feeling that this is one of those narratives where I'm thinking, do I buy into the Jets' hype of beating the Steelers, or do I trust Teddy Two Gloves? And I trust Teddy Two Gloves to hit his targets. He's a very reliable backup. He's won games before with New Orleans. I believe the Dolphins will win this game at the very least.
I love Teddy. I absolutely do. And he has proven that he can be undefeated as backup. But I don't know. But there's too much drama going on with the Dolphins for him to even probably focus on the game. But we'll see what happens.
That is true.
Next, Bears versus Vikings. I pick the Vikings to win.
I pick Minnesota.
I had to change something there.
I do it for people. That's why they come to watch me, to say Minnesota in that manner. I think the Vikings are coming off a huge London win. The Bears have no momentum at all. They have no traction. Justin Fields ain't working out like the way that they thought he would. There's controversy with Justin Fields being upset with the coach. There's controversy with coaches being upset with Justin Fields. Players aren't liking each other. Fists are being thrown. Kirk Cousins is somehow, trying to find out where your local Kohl's place is. And Justin Jefferson will beat the Bears secondary single-handedly if he needs to.
Oh yeah, this should be a cakewalk for the Vikings. They're about to be one of the most weirdest 4-1 teams.
Watch them get blown up by Chicago somehow.
Yeah. Next, okay. Titans versus the Commanders, and I'm picking the Titans because oh boy,
Titans, and they're gonna win 24-10. Just like the amount of time of how much they win will just be reduced until they lose and they only score 24 points. That's my belief.
I mean, credit to the defense that they're holding on. It just gets closer. This one's gonna be 24-18. Every single week, it's gonna inch closer towards 24. So that's 25-24.
25-24. Yes, we need it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I picked Titans as well.
Next, Seahawks versus Saints. A game that I had a lot of conflictions with, but in the end I decided Geno Smith. Don't ask why.
The funny thing about Geno Smith is he reminds me a lot of, like, you know, Jameis Winston minus the incomprehensible post-game speeches. I believe I'm going to pick New Orleans. I'm going to pick New Orleans off of hope and faith that it doesn't come down to our defense plowing another game against the Seahawks. In New Orleans this time, I believe, and I'm hoping that Andy Dalton starts because that loss against Minnesota was not his fault. Nor was it Will Lutz. How can he be asked to make two 60-yarders back-to-back, breaking your own record? That's almost impossible to do. And it was a doink of all things, a double one.
That shows how good he is. Tucker must be scared.
I am picking New Orleans.
I pick Vikings with confidence, and I pick Seahawks with confidence.
I have... Fuck your confidence. I have hope.
Fuck your team.
And fuck your team, Faith. And a whole lot of things. Go Saints. Do that.
Go. That's right. 49ers versus the Panthers. And I'm going with 49ers because...
I think you may have said your pick there instead of the game. You sound like so confident. So confident. 49ers!
Panthers.
We're both going with San Francisco here. It's Jimmy G, baby.
Jimmy J. That's right. Anyways, Eagles versus the Cardinals. And Eagles are about to be dancing on 5-0.
I'll be dancing like the Joker down those steps after he put the face paint on and was getting ready to kill Murray.
Tell me another joke, Murray.
Kyler. Yeah,
oh.
See what I did there? Yeah. Yeah. See about kill Kyler. He's dead. He's going to be gone. So will Cliff Kingsbury. That's why I picked the Eagles. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Next, Cowboys versus Rams. And I have to ask, who cares? But I can pick Rams because... I
am so glad this is not on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. Thank you, Rams. Picking them because I believe the Cooper Rush acceleration train ends here.
Please let it end here. My God, I do not... I want to be right that he is not worth what he is. Then, Sunday Night Football, which should be game of the week. Bengals versus Ravens. This is so challenging. It really is. Because, here's the thing. If really Joey B and the team has the confidence back, they are going to torch that Ravens secondary so much.
And, like, the Ravens secondary, the Ravens defense, honestly, like, Marcus Peters was arguing with Harbaugh on the sideline after loss to Buffalo. It feels like that the Ravens defense is imploding. The offense is perfectly fine. That defense just seems to be imploding in fucking fashionable ways. I mean, sure, they blew a game to Miami. They just blew another game to Cincinnati. Not Cincinnati. I
mean, you're already predicting it, so yeah.
I mean, they blew it to Cincinnati, but to Buffalo. Like, I can't. Let me actually look real.
And they're also home, which they've done it twice at home.
Yeah, and also it feels like that. They feel like that the Bengals might have the Ravens number a little bit from last year, and you can say, injuries, that injuries, this. The fucking defense is still playing like they have a bunch of injured third stringers out there. You cannot tell me any difference. They almost blew a lead to the Patriots with Mac Jones grittying in the most fanciful way possible. I believe Joe Cool is much better than Mac Jones, and I believe that's how they're going to win. Bengals.
Yeah, I picked Bengals as well, but it should be and hopefully be a fantastic game.
I want to blow it. I want to see the Bengals kill a bird.
I mean, if they kill a bird, I also would love it. But not for Lamar's sake. Because
I want to know. Lamar's an amazing talent. I hope he has a great performance. But I want
But fuck everyone else.
I want the Ravens defense to just get nuked by that Bengals offense.
Oh, they're going to, but Lamar Jackson's going to be carrying the Ravens to keeping it a close game.
Like, it'll probably be like 38-35, and the Bengals win with like a game-winning field goal.
And literally, for Lamar Jackson, he's about to have like 60 passes because how many times he has to go out there.
200 yards rushing, 60 passes, 40 completions. He's just 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns, fucking 600 yards.
In total. But that'd be fun. That'd be
great. Oh God, I already see Week 6's Thursday night game. That is awful, but that's not about that game right now. Raiders versus Chiefs.
Chiefs. We don't even need to mince words. Chiefs. Chiefs.
I mean, literally, this is where Josh McDaniels gets fired.
I mean, why is this on Monday Night Football? Why do we?
I'm not complaining. I don't want to see Rams and Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
I know, but I would at least prefer. I don't know, maybe another game. I mean, shoot, I'd prefer to see. I'd prefer a boring ass game, like the Titans versus the Commanders over the Raiders and Chiefs, where I know what the result's going to be. I know, you know.
I don't know. It should just be Steelers and Bills. I mean, Bills deserve all the primetime slots.
Give it to them.
Give it to them.
But
I guess it's Patty Mahomes, so I guess it makes sense.
Patrick Mahomes, yeah. I mean, the more times he flashes on primetime television, hey, that's fair. I said I like watching Patrick Mahomes play unless it's against my team because I mean, the dude, he scares me, man. He plays so good. He plays football like he's playing backyard, two-hand touch. It's so fun to see.
Him and Josh Allen both scare me. They're flawless.
Do the Bills and Chiefs have another regular season matchup?
They should. We will actually not cut out the reaction to this.
Yeah, because I am curious about that. Because I would like to see them face off in the regular season.
Ah, yes! Only 2 weeks
do?
from now. October 16th.
Oh,
why?
16th?
Why is that? Why is that a 4 o'clock game and not a night game? What the fuck? Well, yeah, 4 o'clock technically.
The last time it was night game, the Bills split the Chiefs.
That was fun.
Outside the playoffs. But actually, the Chiefs' schedule, honestly, it looks fun. You have, obviously, Raiders, not fun. But Bills, 49ers, Titans, who cares about the Jaguars? Chargers! Rams. Ooh, Rams, that sounds good. Bengals, rematch. Broncos, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Texans, Seahawks, Broncos again, Raiders. So it doesn't end off super duper fun, but...
Yeah, which means that's where they're going to get the playoff.
That's fun, So hey, a lot of hope, a lot of expectation.
What a week of football it was, huh?
Yeah, and that ends off of this podcast. I won this week.
Woohoo!